Hi everybody, Charles here. Welcome to Backroads Living. In the last 2 or 3 videos that I've posted, I've been talking to beginning preppers and new preppers, and I want to continue doing that today because the title of this video is Get It While You Still Can. And I believe that we're coming into a time that we really need to do that. Things are not going very well in foreign countries around the world. There's a lot of lockdowns going on. There's a lot of things happening that just make no sense whatsoever. There's a lot of people in the European Union who are being pinged that had never been out of their house and been anywhere. They've been in their homes, and they were still being told to stay home and quarantine. Now, what the government's purpose is behind that, I don't know. That's something that I can't read their minds, but I have my own suspicions, and I'm sure you do too. I'm very convinced that this thing is going to come to the United States. I'm convinced that we will see food shortages here in the near future. I'm convinced we will see supply chain problems here, that we will see grocery store problems here. And you have to remember, grocery stores and stores like Walmart, they don't just stock up once a day or once a week. They're stocking all day long. And if you disrupt a supply chain to one of those stores, they'll run out of product within a day. They have got trucks coming in all day long. They've got containers in the back that are full. When those things run out, and they would run out fast if the supply chain was broken, then there wouldn't be any more food. A 10-day supply chain halt like they had kind of did in the European Union over there, man, that would be devastating anywhere. To stop the supply chain for 10 days and stop the food from coming into the grocery stores and the big box stores for 10 days. There's no way that the food that they have put back in containers or in their storerooms could ever keep their shelf stocked for 10 days. It's impossible. The stores cannot do it. And I just read today that stores in, I think it was Scotland, had told the government there that they had 2 weeks to fix the problem, because if they didn't have it fixed within 2 weeks, the entire system was going to collapse and shut down, and they would not be able to remain open and do business. So that's pretty serious, and if it migrates here, it'll be very serious here as well. So over the last few videos, I've discussed some things that we purchase when we go out to the grocery or to Walmart or wherever it may be. Things that we put in our pantry to help us to be more confident about being able to survive a while. We went back over our stock yesterday and reassessed everything again, because guys, this is a very serious thing that we're going to be encountering when it happens. We think that we're at a year, pretty much. There's just a handful of things that we need to pick up in the next couple of days to put us at a year's worth of supplies. Will that be enough? I don't know. I just don't know. But I do want to show you some things that we buy. I talked about them, and I want to show them to you and talk about how we use them. Okay? And the first thing I want to show you is what I said first, is rice. We buy long grain rice. This can be put in your kettle and boil for 5 minutes or whatever it calls for, and it can be used with anything. I mean anything. Rice is a staple. You can put all kinds of food with it, and I'm going to show you some of that stuff right now in just a minute. We picked rice up at Walmart recently when we went. Listen, we always pick up this kind of stuff when we go to Walmart or the grocery. It doesn't matter. We make every trip bring us something home for our prep, for our pantry, for the inside, for the outside, whatever the prep may be that we need. We try to pick up something to fill a gap. And that's what you need to be doing every time you go to the grocery, every time you go to Walmart, every time you go to the hardware, every time you go to Goodwill, to the flea market, whatever it might be. Keep in mind, in the back of your mind, the things that you need to fill in your prep. And if you run across them, pick them up. I always look for a bargain. I always look for something on sale. I always buy the, as long as it's a good quality, get the least expensive that you can and save your money for other preps. The next thing we buy is beans. Pinto beans. Again, a pound of these, man, they go a long way. You can take pinto beans, and we buy flour and meal now. We buy a lot of that. We vacuum seal it, just like I showed you the rice here. This has been vacuum sealed. I don't know if you can hear that or not. Solid as a rock. This is going to last a long time. We vacuum seal this. We vacuum seal our flour, our meal. I'll vacuum seal these beans. We put these in the freezer for 4 days. That kills any kind of bugs that might be in it. After 4 days, we lay it out for 2 days to allow it to dry out, to air out and dry out, so there's no moisture left in it whatsoever. Then we vacuum seal it. We leave it out for 2 days while it's vacuum sealed to make sure the seal's going to hold, and then we put it away. Now, I know a lot of people go ahead and vacuum seal them and put them in their bins or whatever, but if you do, you're going to have to go back and check it, because vacuum seals don't always hold. Sometimes they let a little air in. The last batch I vacuum sealed, I had 4 items that ended up not sealing good, and it wasn't the vacuum sealer, it was something with the bag. This last bunch of bags I bought, they just I've had some trouble with two or three items that I've sealed every time out of them. So I don't know, but that's something you have to watch too. So what we do with the beans and rice, I told you, I always buy beans and rice. You can't have too much of that. You cannot have too many beans and rice. You can always make cornbread, with flour and meal. You can always just you can fry cornbread. You can fry bread on top of the stove to eat with your beans. Okay, it's just, there's no reason why you can't. You can survive on beans and rice for a long time if you have to. The next thing that I mentioned that we pick up at Walmart is the luncheon meat. We do not buy Spam. Spam is a name brand product, and it costs $1 more than this. And after we tried this, to me, this tastes as good or better than Spam. It seems like to me that Spam has a stronger taste than this, and I like this taste better when it's fried. And this is something that you can cut up and fry and use with your rice. Guys, there's no reason why you couldn't put this with rice with a little bit of spices or a little bit of vegetables of some kind and have a terrific meal with it, okay? And these things, like I said, this one dates, I'll show you if you can tell it or not, 2025. Hope you can see that. That's dated out 2025. That's 4 years. That's a long time. I'll have that ate if I live before 2025. Another thing that we buy at Walmart is the Great Value beef stew, and it's good. Now, we do buy beef stew at other places. Save-A-Lot has a real good beef stew when you can find it, but this is a good beef stew too. We bought this recently at Walmart when we went on a trip, and this is another item. You can take a can of this right here, and you can take a cup of rice, and you can have an excellent meal with it. This right here feeds me and Sandy very easily and have leftovers. A can of this and a cup of this would feed both of us and have leftovers, okay? We could eat probably 2 meals out of that between us. The next item we purchased, and let's see, this had a 2023 on it. Hope you can see it. I don't know if you can or not, but that's 2023. That's 2 years. The next item we purchased at Walmart is the Great Value pulled pork. And again, this is the Great Value brand. We're not buying the name brand stuff. When we try this stuff and it tastes as good, then we always buy this. We're not going to spend the extra money on name brand just because it says whatever it is. I don't even know what their name brands are anymore. I've quit buying them. We haven't bought them in so long. But this is dated 2024, February 3, 24. So yeah, that's that's got a 3-year shelf life. And the great thing about these here, this is those non-perishable foods I was telling you about buying in the last video. Just because it says 2024, I wouldn't care a bit to open this in 2025 or 2026 and still eat it. I'd just about guarantee you that it'd still be good then, because these things don't go bad just because it has a sell-by date or best use-by date on it. Never throw this stuff out just because the best by date is passed. I always check it. If it smells good and tastes good, it's good. The next thing, and this right here too, this is excellent with the rice. Yeah, you can put this right with rice. Make you a better rice and pour it right over top of it, and it's delicious. The next thing is the roast beef. And again, you see it's the Great Value brand. We always buy that when we go purchase products. We try to buy the off-brand so to save money, because we need to make our dollars right now go as far as they can, especially in the times we're living in. It gets tough, guys. Now, this is September 24, 23. This will be good through, I'm sure, 2025, 2026. But again, we've probably only got a year's supply of meat and things like that right now put back, so I don't have to worry about any of this going bad. And that's another item that you can make a bed of rice with and pour it right over your rice, and it'll be good. With a bed of rice, Sandy and I could make a meal out of that very easy for 2 people. And what we're doing is we're buying these different kinds of meat like this, and we're going to fix it where we can rotate them. Every week we'll have like one, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. This is another thing that we buy, is chunk light tuna, and it is again the Great Value pack, and it costs less than the other brand names, Chicken of the Sea and all that stuff. And now this is be just as good with rice as well. And the dates on this is best by July 21, 2023. Again, you're looking at 2 years. And if it's untampered with, this will last 3 or 4 or 5 years. Who knows how long this would last. So again, here's another thing that you can put with your rice. There's no reason not to be able to have a meal. I'm just trying to tell you that you can have meat, and if you've got rice and beans, you can always have a good meal. You won't just be eating beans and rice. If you can buy a little bit of meat along to put with it, put you some meat back, even if it's just once a week, to break the monotony of the beans and rice, man, that goes a long way. Another thing we found here, well, I don't know how this got in here. This is not Walmart, but I've got some Walmart beef here. This is roast beef and gravy. We picked this up at Save-A-Lot. Keep an eye out for this. This is a bonus right here. Here's your bonus for this video. This is roast beef from Save-A-Lot, and it is super good and tasty. This is some of the best roast beef we've found anywhere, and we rarely find it. Our local Save-A-Lot never has it anymore. We found this one in a Save-A-Lot out of town, and we bought the case that they had on the shelf, bought what they had there. If we've got the extra money on us and we run across stuff like this that we know and we've tried and we know it's good and it's going to be good, we try to buy all we can of it, because we don't know when we'll find it again. And if we have a food shortage or a supply chain down, guys, we don't know when we'll have the opportunity to buy anything again. I mean, we just don't. When you get shut in the house, even if you're not shut in the house, if the grocery stores are closed and the big box stores are closed, where are you going to find food? It'll get tough when this thing happens, I'm telling you. And you need to be ready. So you need to buy beans and you need to buy rice. If you don't buy anything else, you need to buy beans and rice. Get you some flour and meal to make you some bread with. Beans and rice will go a long way. The next thing we buy is this Great Value chicken chunks. And this is really good stuff. Really good. The date on this one was 2024. Again, this would be good through 2025, 2026. Who knows how long it would last. But the date's way out on it. And that makes us like, what did I figure here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 7. This is 7 different kinds and sources of meat, protein, that we could do one different one each day if we needed to for a long time. And the great thing about these, you take something like the chicken breast. Now, if you'll pick you up some stuff like the Worcestershire sauce, or you can go to the Dollar Tree and get you spices, all kinds of spices at the Dollar Tree for $1. Go over there and buy you some spices, add you some stuff like maybe some onion powder, some garlic pepper, all that kind of stuff you can pick up there for $1. Sometimes they have really big bottles of stuff like that that's much larger than the average bottle for $1. And you can season this stuff and make it taste so much better, along with the rice. Stuff like this right here. Let me show you this. This came from Walmart. The Worcestershire came from Walmart. And we purchased a bunch of this. The ramen noodle. I know a lot of you are going to go, blah, you can't stand ramen noodle. You hate ramen noodle. I know. I've heard it. Trust me, I've heard it, how much you hate ramen noodle and how bad it is for you. But in a pinch, this is cheap and it'll make a meal. You can put it with this. You can throw a can of this in it. You could cut this up and throw a can of this in it. You could throw some of this in it. You could put any of these meats in it that I mentioned and throw a handful of vegetables in with it. You don't have to use the seasoning packet that's in there. Use your own seasoning. Use whatever you want to. But you don't have to use that packet. It's real salty, that packet is. It's full of sodium. But you can make a meal. 2 people could eat out of one of these if you add stuff to it like what I'm talking about. And there's no reason why you couldn't have a good meal with ramen noodle if you've got these other things. So keep in mind that you need to be prepping. You need to be filling your pantry, and you need to get it while you can, because the time's coming that it's going to be very difficult to find it, if you can find it at all. So don't forget to like our video, give us a thumbs up. That helps us with YouTube. If you haven't subscribed already, we would ask that you subscribe to our channel. We really appreciate that. And don't forget to check our Locals channel out. We've got a Backroads Living Locals Hangout. It's a new channel we've got. There's a description, or in the description box below, there's a link to that channel. So be sure and check that out. If you're not a member over there, go over and join up. If you can support us on that channel, we'd greatly appreciate it. And as always, we appreciate you for being a part of our channel here, Backroads Living. And don't forget to leave your comments. Don't forget, if you've got meals you can make with this stuff, or suggestions that you would like to leave for this video or these products, please do that. And help somebody out along the way with that. So God bless you all, and we'll see you in the next video.